Vacation. That's the topic today, y'all. I am freshly back from San Juan, Puerto Rico. And I have to say, this might sound odd, especially since Puerto Rico is a paradise. But when I'm there, y'all, I don't consider it a vacation. It's an extension of me. Puerto Rico feels like me. The food is familiar. The way the hearts of the people are there. The island, the beach, it feels like me. So that I want to kind of dive a little bit into in today in this discussion about how we think about vacation or time away. Because what I have noticed is people that say things like, I can't afford that, or I don't have the time to get away, or overthinking and not actually realizing the deeper why it's important to take these breaks, why it's important to, even if you're doing things similar to what you would be doing home, why it's much more influential when you're in another place, in another environment, what that can do, what that can open up and stimulate in you, that when you come back to your usual environment, you now have this new momentum. Even if the momentum was just you've slept, you've rested, you were still. Or if the momentum you were active, you were adventurous, you took some risks, you were bold. So whatever the momentum is that you get when you're away on vacation or just away, how can you use that to enhance your life when you come back? To put back into your friends, your family, your work, you. So that's the topic today, vacation. So think about your vacations. When was the last time you took one? Do you call them vacations? What's your mindset on this? And I'm actually going to be referencing a session that I did with the Malala Fund last year. And the title was Stop Sucking at Taking a True Vacation. I got to make these titles really compelling so that, people in the organization sign up and they're interested to come. This was a good one. So I actually want to dive in straight into the tips. Like, let's just get right to the meat. And what I want you to think about with some of these tips is, A, are you already doing these things? Like, are these best practices that you already implement when you're planning time away? Especially if you are like in a really busy working space and you don't find that you have enough off time. So think about, do you already do this? I want you to think about if you hear something on here that you haven't thought about or haven't tried when preparing for vacation. Could you try it? And what might that feel like? How might people at the office respond? What could this do? All right, so keep those two things in mind. Tips on how to embrace time away and return refreshed, because that's the thing, y'all. You gotta return refreshed. So many people will be working from home now. Before it was, I could have said, sitting at your office desk, planning their vacation, like in it. Travel agents, maybe they're searching for the most affordable flights, booking their hotel, doing all the things, and then will arrive and be so worried and stressed about getting back to work and all the stuff they're missing and all the emails they're not responding to. That's the mentality and the way of being we want to get out of. So if that's you, listen up. This is a good one. Let's just jump straight to the practical. And especially if you're in a leadership role, manage a team of people, an executive, this one's really good. And I particularly like this one because you're setting an awesome tone for your company, your organization on what it means to take time off and to be refreshed. Share your plans before you leave. Now, if you're thinking, I'm a super private person, I don't need people all up in my business, that's okay. Share a little something. Because there's something about the specificity or even people knowing a little bit about the actual time away where they can honor it and let you be. So let me break this down a little more. Touch base, and this could be leadership position or if you have people that you work for. Touch base with both your boss and coworkers ahead of your trip. Consider addressing the main functions you'll need to have covered while you're away and plan for how to deal with certain scenarios should they arise. So for people that are very A-type. Planners really want to make sure their team is set up for success and their coworkers are set up for success. This is the way to go. So what if you're like, worst case scenario, what's the worst? Everything could fail while I'm gone. Plan for it. You're going to be really, really exhausted by the time you get on that plane and get to going. But if that makes you feel better, go for it, okay? Let people know what's up. Plan for anything you feel that arises so everybody's set up for success. It's also important to share what your availability will be while you're away. This is another one I want to pinpoint for those of you that are like, there's no way I can completely turn it off. That's cool, because I would be a hypocrite to tell you that, because I had 4 meetings while I was in Puerto Rico. So I didn't completely turn stuff off either. But you let people know. My clients, they knew I was going to be in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So they weren't surprised when my background was different. They knew this was my chunk of time so that I can respect that time, not go before, not go after, honor it so that I can get back to the beach. So you set yourself up for success. You feel better. You've communicated. The other person now feels better. We all rocking. Yes, already feeling good. Let's go to the next one. I kind of hinted at this. Actually take time off, okay? Once you've decided to take time off, it's just as important to establish those boundaries for technology. You know what I'm really proud of, y'all? I get that little reminder on my iPhone that it's around Sunday, it'll pop up. Like Sunday 9 a.m., it'll tell you if you were up or down with your screen time. This week on Sunday, it popped up. I just got back from Puerto Rico last night. I was 38% down. That lets me know the whole time I was there, I wasn't on my phone as much. So the data actually backed up the actuality of what was happening. So take the time off. Take it off, okay? Here's a good question. I put this on the presentation here. What are your vacation technology boundaries? Music is always going to be around, so the phone's got to be by because I got to have the music. But like if you have a TV in your hotel room, for example, do you need to turn it on? If that's your instinct that you do at home or in the living room when you come home, you turn the TV on, you're on vacation. Maybe you do something different and that is that kind of quieter time. Or maybe you put music on instead. What are your boundaries around technology when you're away? Something to think about. Plan a relaxing activity. So if you're really, let's say this is with family, with friends, and you're being intentional about this getaway, like I want to feel something from this. Maybe you want to take a risk. You want a little bit more aliveness. Plan something that can also, it can hit those vibes, but will also leave you feeling refreshed and relaxed afterwards. Okay, for those of you that really want to slow it down, yoga retreats, lovely. Just anything that you can incorporate some movement, meditation. One thing that I did while I was in San Juan, my other sister, one of my sisters lives there. My other sister vacationed and came there as well. But I knew the importance of my solo time. So my family knows these things about me. So there's no, oh, my feelings are hurt because Coco wants to be by the beach by herself in the morning. That's just what it is. That was my alone time to do something, a relaxing activity, and just stretch and move and not have a care in the world. So plan an activity, even if you need it to be solo. Make time for a stimulating non-work related activity. So it's important to relax, but you want to get into something that's going to challenge you as well. Maybe sitting still with a book without any music, without any distractions is challenging for you. Will you be down for the challenge? Maybe you play things super safe and you're the person that watches these adventurous videos of what people do when they're away and something in you is craving it, but you're fearful. Maybe that's the intention. This is the chance to do it. So what can we turn off of our regular life and turn all the way up when we're on vacation? This is what helps us keep a true vacation, a true time away. I love this one. And this has become more relevant for me, especially in my 30s. Get good sleep. Y'all, I would take vacations in my 20s and sleep who? Sleep what? Not now, y'all. I need my 7 hours still. So I wake up, I'm an early riser when I'm home. It's the same way when I'm away. If I wake up here and I stretch and move a little bit and then maybe I have coffee, I typically do the same thing when I'm away. Same thing happened in Puerto Rico. Found my sister's yoga mat. That was a part of the daily routine. A coffee shop 2 blocks away, walked there afterwards. So think about how you are keeping some of these same habits, sleep being one of them. If you have really worked on your sleep while you're here, take that with you when you're away so that you don't feel like, oh, I have to shut off all these great things that I've started doing because I'm on vacation. Take it with you. Sleep is one of the best. Oh, this is a good one, y'all. And I've already kind of shared with you what my jam is. I fly back. So let me tell you, I looked at my calendar. This week coming up, Monday through Friday, I got a busy week. So I knew I didn't want to fly back on Sunday and arrive home late, be exhausted, and then have to be ready to rock on Monday. So I intentionally bought a flight back Saturday so that I could plan, and this is my other tip, think about the re-entry strategy. How are you going to re-enter after you've been away? And not just the time you fly back and that transitional day you give yourself to prepare, maybe do some household chores, eat a good meal, movement, check some emails, maybe plan for the week, but the re-entry for your emails, y'all. This is a very specific tip I want to give to working professionals, especially if you had a signature that was like an away signature. No need in putting that date, y'all, right when you come back. Give yourself 2 days. So let's just say you come back Saturday, you give yourself Sunday to chill, and you get back to work Monday. Your signature page can stay until Tuesday. So that if you're the person that feels pressured, you need to feel like you need to be on, help yourself out, take some of that off of you, and adjust. You are in control of what you're putting in that away message. So something to think about, that refresh, that re-entry plan is super important, because what I've learned in my experience with my private clients and in these group settings is the reason a lot of people don't take the time away, y'all, is because you're feeling so overwhelmed about what you're going to have to do when you get back. And that's going to cut off all the good energy and the vibes and the flow and the experience and the memories of why we take vacations. So if I'm talking to people right now that you're a part of an organization, or this is just how you individually get down, you know how to honor breaks, you know how to set boundaries and take time off, kudos to you, because this is not easy for everybody. People are learning this as individuals. Organizations are learning how to be people of their word, not just talk the talk, not just say. It's important that our clients, our employees have self-care and self-love and breaks. You got to honor it. And honoring it is not sending a bunch of emails when people are taking time away. Honoring it is when somebody's telling you about their trip they're taking away with their family or their friends or their partner, like, okay, absorbing what they're saying, knowing that they're more than just their work. They sound excited about this, they're ready. Let me not bother them. Whatever I got to get to, I will table it, or somebody else can help me out. So this is a two-way street. So however you're hearing this, just know that if you are working on taking true breaks and doing it without guilt, some of these tips I hope can be a good starting point for you, because a lot of that you see is within your control. And then if you're listening to this from the ear of maybe you're running an organization, or you just are still not understanding why people need breaks, why you can't just like keep work going all the time, these tips are for you as well, because you may not get it yet, and that's okay, but your people are getting it. And people in your life are getting it. So this is something we all want to just kind of take a moment to absorb. What does it mean to take breaks? It looks different for people, that's okay. But we need to honor that. Organizations need to be honoring that for their employees, and the employees that are taking the breaks need to be honoring that for themselves and their loved ones. So this is it just got me motivated, y'all, because I just realized, I was like, it has taken me all this time to finally like get the balance that I crave when I take time away. And it really helps me continue to do it more. Because when you see it's not this big, this is just so much, and you just kind of take it a little easier, you're more likely to do it. So a lot of this is about mindset. But I really hope that you can take something from this, either give yourself a pat on the back for like, yes, I already do that, or you hear something that you can start trying, that you can encourage with your employees. So this is beneficial in a lot of ways here, but breaks are necessary. The world is beautiful. And if we are just telling ourselves we are work, what's the point? Truly. Yes, you're building a legacy. You're saving money, you're investing. You're maybe doing something different than your family, your parents did, but are you living? Are you living the experiences and creating these memories that when you're in a dark place, you can smile at yourself because you can remember how awesome that moment was? So that is the real fundamental deep why I feel it is important for me as a life coach to have these conversations with organizations, with people while I'm on vacation. I love telling people what I do for a living and then living it out. Living it out. So honor your breaks, honor your vacations, and thank you for honoring you. And till our next video. See you later, guys.